Hello and welcome to the Kerry Garden Show. We're back here in Boyles of Killorglin, myself and Miguel, and we are glad you are joining us. Miguel, how are you doing today?
I'm all right.
You're not too bad?
Yeah, no, I'm not too bad. I'm not too good.
Not too bad.
Just average.
That's it. It probably just is. It's our bit of age.
It's better. It's better.
We're not aging like these beautiful roses that we have here in front of us. So listen, Miguel, we're not going to be, I suppose, able to record or put out a show later during the winter when it's the prime and right time to kind of finish off the season of the rose. So we're going to talk a little bit of what is to be done and what you should do to make sure that your roses get through the winter okay.
Perfect, yes. You know that roses are probably our signature plant here in Boyles of Killorglin. That we have loads of different varieties, as the sign says, around 200 this year, and we're planning to bring more next year.
Ooh, next year is going to be even bigger.
Yeah, let's see. So, first of all, we have these ones in clearance, by the way.
Yeah.
It's 2 for 18 euros, while the normal price is 15.95 per one. So for 2 extra euros, you have another rose.
Wow.
Because we want to make room for what
that
we are bringing next year.
For what you're talking about,
It's been weeks selecting roses we have a supplier which is an old school person, an old school man.
Yeah.
And he has hundreds and hundreds of different varieties. And when I say hundreds, I say more thousands than hundreds.
Okay, right.
And it's not easy to go through everyone because as being an old school gentleman, it's not like he just has a catalog. He sends you written paper and a photocopy, so you have to go and looking at the and Google them to see how they look, the scent, everything.
But he's obviously a man who's been looking after roses for a long time.
For a long time.
Yeah.
You cannot, if you ever had a chance, we could do that, but it will be a long trip for you. Going to Middleton in Cork, and go visit him in mid-August or something like that when everything is in bloom. And it's just unbelievable.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Wow.
The colors, the scent, the fields of roses, the good-looking roses, the health of the very spectacular. It's beyond description, that place.
And you're hoping to bring a lot more of that sold to the garden centre next year?
We cannot bring them all, we would like.
but as much as you can.
We are going to bring a good few things in next year.
Okay.
We'll bring in some of the same of last year ones, because they're very popular, very nice, very scented. But we always try to bring different things
every year. Yeah.
This year we have focused, or have been selecting them not only focused in the beauty of them, but in the scent. They are all supposed to be highly scented,
right?
Because as this gentleman John McNamara says, the roses sell by the scent.
The scent. Yeah, it is so true.
So now we are at the end of September, and what can we expect from our roses? So these ones are under the canopy, they're probably more protected, they're still in flower. You can expect flowers till the end of October, okay? If it's a decent October, if it's a decent September, if it's not very cold, you could expect flowers till the end of October.
Okay, October.
What do you have to do for that? So it's basically repeating myself, keep feeding them, keep having them, and keep treating them against the mildew. Mildew now will be disappearing with the cold. But you can spray them because at least under the canopy here they still have
a little bit. You can actually just see some on one there in front.
To keep them healthy, you should expect not obviously a full bloom. But see, you have this yellow rose here with a few buds about to open yet.
Yeah, and there's one over here just in front of me. It's beauty, a Henry Dilbard. It's a hybrid tea.
So see some of these ones. So we still have a few from the first year we ordered from John McNamara.
Okay.
And the first year we only were focusing in beauty.
Yes.
Some of them are not highly scented as we want to be.
Okay.
So anyhow, how to deadhead them? You could still remember, if you have a good autumn, you could still have a few flowers, deadhead them as usual. Looking for a decent bud. And going in diagonal, alright? Diagonal, facing the opposite way of the bud.
Okay, so it's going out.
To prevent the drops of water to accumulate in that.
Okay.
Very important.
Your secateurs.
Sharp, and in good form, in good use.
And clean.
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 But very sharp.
Very sharp. Okay.
Why sharp?
Well, the cut, I suppose, you're not damaging the plant as much, isn't that it, Miguel? If you're blunt.
If you cut with not very sharp, what you're doing is crushing them.
Okay.
When you crush them, not cut them clean.
Yeah.
When it's not a clean cut, that part dies.
Okay.
And it could be affecting this stop in this case, but it could be going down.
So for our viewers there now, if you actually have just under a cut, the bit of stem that's turned brown, that means you crushed it as opposed to a clean cut. It could be the reason.
But it is very common just using a normal secateurs, and you don't realize that you're crushing them.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
So it's important to
and
have a look.
Just how would you sharpen them, Miguel?
A stone, or get fresh ones.
Yeah.
And use them only for pruning roses if you have enough roses.
Yeah, okay.
It's useful to have, if you're gonna be pruning shrubs, having something different, because shrubs are thicker branches.
Yeah.
They could be damaging the blade.
I know what you mean.
Could be damaging the stem of the roses.
So have a specific secateurs just for roses would be a good idea. Yeah.
Recommendable.
Okay.
So you keep that head in them. It's a new shoot coming here.
Yeah, there's even some red tips there. The leaves are still coming through.
You could still see a few flowers. Now, feeding them. Why is important? They are very hungry, so they need constant food. Look at the color of these leaves. This green.
There's a real deep dark green.
Feeding them.
Lovely.
We're still feeding them. We feed them till the end. That's health for them. You have in mind that they are growing. They are maybe not growing physically, but they are growing in thickness. They are growing. You can maybe not see them growing the stems, but they're still growing.
Yeah.
So those leaves are essential. The health of the plant is essential till the leaves are dropped, till the plant drops the leaves.
Drops. Okay. The leaves.
Now, hard pruning. We are going to feeding. We are going to treating.
Yep.
Treating with the mildew. Probably don't see many more green fly or black fly around.
They don't like the weather either, yeah.
Exactly. It's like the mildew. You probably are free of diseases right now.
Yeah.
You can face a little bit of different fungus, but even blight is too cold for that.
Okay. So it's probably the least. It's probably the least amount of attention you have to give them. Really, isn't it?
If you see
you can
them
focus
unhealthy,
on the food.
See, this one has brown spot.
Yeah.
That's a climb rose that has brown spot. That won't be. Remember, brown or black spot or rust, they won't heal if you treat.
Okay.
If you treat it with fungicide,
yeah.
You don't expect seeing those leaves coming back to green and healthy. No, those leaves are gone.
It'll be to protect the
new ones will be healthy.
Okay.
Okay. So now we are going to what to do with them in the wintertime. If you have them in pots and you want to transplant them, it's a perfect time.
Are we talking November? Or what are we talking?
When they
October,
drop the
November?
leaves. I would prefer, you can do this, hard pruning or transplanting in late autumn or full winter. I will do it in full winter.
You do it in full winter, okay.
Everything in full winter is when you have a better perspective of the plant.
They're at its most dormant stage.
So it's dormant. When it's dormant, you basically, I think I say this about nearly every plant, you can do whatever you want when they're dormant. In certain terms, obviously.
Yeah.
But you can transplant them, you can move them, you can transplant a large tree, and getting a machine and put it somewhere else because you want. It's in winter when they are dormant. So once all the leaves are gone,
yep,
you're safe to do it. It's not that you cannot do it in late autumn, but it will be giving you a better perspective, and it will be
better for the plant.
Better for the plant.
Yeah. Okay.
So, we're going in how to pruning. We're going to the easy one. The easy one is the shrub. Remember,
the shrub rose?
The ground cover roses.
Ground cover, okay.
Ground cover roses, they don't need pruning, strictly talking.
Okay.
So what you're gonna do is prune them ornamentally.
Okay, so the way you
As
want to
you
shape them.
want,
Yeah.
exactly.
And deadheading, you would deadhead.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
In fact, it's tricky if you have ground cover bushes and you have a large area. It's not easy to deadhead them.
Okay, it's a lot.
Deadheading them is more ornamental purposes as well,
As well.
in ground cover roses.
Okay.
Not a bad practice at all,
Yeah.
but it's not easy once they are established.
Okay.
You're gonna go through a sea of thorns, and unless you have
Bulletproof
this,
Kevlar. Yeah,
exactly.
you'll be coming out unscathed. Okay.
And what you do that is with the shares,
Yeah.
basically go
Over the top and
clipping,
however
if
much
they
you want
are
to take
so
off.
whatever large stems you have to give them uniformity. If you want, okay, you can leave them as they are. That's the purpose of them, is ground covering.
Yeah.
You don't need to touch them, they will spread. That's the easy, all
That's
right?
the easy one. Okay, come on, talk to us about the
Now,
next one.
We go
Floribundas,
to
hybrid
the
teas.
difficults or the other ones? All right.
Just go. Floribundas and
We
hybrid
go
teas. Let's go.
Floribunda, hybrid tea and shrubs. We have between 1/3 and 2/3.
1/3 and 2/3. Okay.
So if you have a large rose that haven't been pruned in years, let's say you have a 6-foot rose,
Okay.
1/3, 2/3, or any rose. You go 2/3 if you want to rejuvenate the plant. You want 1/3. It depends. The size will do.
Yeah.
All right, will tell you. You don't want to go 2/3 in this small one. You want to go higher. You want to leave because
Yeah.
the plant is small. If you go too low, look at the bud here.
Yeah.
If you go too low, you won't have. If you have any problem later with those branches dying,
Yeah.
your plant will be gone. So you don't want to go too low
Too
unless
low on that
it's
one.
strictly necessary.
So it depends on the height of the rose for these ones, the Floribundas, hybrid teas, and
So if you buy them from us in bare rooted, they come pruned and we give them a little bit of haircut
Okay.
on some ones that they need.
yeah.
But if you buy them from us, you don't need to prune them till next year.
Okay.
Now, next year is this year, let's say.
Yeah.
You want to go to a healthy bud, 1/3 or 2/3, depending on your needs.
Yeah.
I will go 1/3 at least initially to make the plant grow bushy.
Okay. Yeah.
What do you have to do with the hybrid teas is the same as the Floribundas, 1/3 to 2/3.
Okay.
Always find nice bud. Find a nice bud.
Find a
If
nice
you
little
got-
offshoot or a
If
sprout
you
or
want to
bread.
go, if you have to go a little bit higher or a little bit lower to find a very
That
healthy,
nice, healthy
thick
one. Yeah.
bud, that will be showing. That's why it's interesting doing it in the winter because you see more. You don't have leaves. You see the structure of the plant, and you can go as your desire. If it's very long stem, you obviously can go lower in
Lower
that
stem,
stem
yeah.
to match the other ones
The
to
rest.
create
Yeah, yeah.
create uniformity.
Yeah.
That's applicable Floribunda and shrub or
Hybrid
shrub
teas.
roses.
Shrub
Hybrid teas, Floribunda, shrub roses.
And the climbing.
Climbing roses.
Quickly,
That's
yeah.
tricky. That's the tricky ones.
Yes.
You have to tie them up. Clean the previous year growth, previous year roses.
Clean them.
No, not clean
Just-
them. Just
just-
bring them down.
Yeah.
Where it flowered.
Yeah.
Bring them down 1/3.
Okay.
Now the tricky part when they are young, when they're young is okay. I wouldn't leave more than 6 branches on a climber plant.
6. Okay.
6 branches, and then eventually when
Until
you
it's
have
more
to,
better established, then.
when it's very big, you can bring down to. Sorry. When I rejuvenate the plant, when it becomes very thick and crossy and everything,
Yeah.
just get rid of the less healthy or the less thick branches,
Okay.
and leave only between 3 and 6 of the healthiest ones.
Okay.
Leave the side shoots grow, and then you trim those side shoots to 1/3.
Right.
But you leave the main stems.
Okay. A little bit.
When it's becoming very bushy, you'll see that it's short, new stems coming from the base. You can take the big ones and leave one of the young ones to get thick.
Yes. Okay. So
That's
they're
the
allowance.
trickiest rose to prune. It's not difficult. We don't have
That's
time.
what you mean about the rejuvenation part.
Yes.
Okay. Right. So it
Yes.
is very
So-
tricky.
So you have to tie them, you have to secure them,
Yeah.
clean the side shootings where they flower. See, like these fellas, clean
Crossing
them to
over ones.
1/3.
Yeah.
and leave them till they create that espalier or whatever you want. And then when they are older, they're becoming older, and you have these new side shootings, clean the oldest branches, and leave the new ones to grow and it'll cover again.
Keep going. Wow.
Those are the trickiest ones. It's better guiding rather than pruning if you don't know how to prune them.
Okay.
But again, it's like the other ones in the branches that had flowered. Just bring them down 1/3 to 2/3. The main branches is the difference.
So wait until all the leaves have dropped, till everything is dormant. Keep feeding. Keep feeding as you see until we get to that point.
Winter,
Yeah, and then making sure to cut them all back.
Feed them in the winter will be a waste of money.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So once they go dormant, that's it. They'll just leave them until
you can. If you buy a pot now, you can leave it in the pot till next year if you fancy, or you can transplant it now. I will do it now. They will be getting used to the
established
place.
and get into
but
the soil.
But if you don't have room, but you buy one and you're waiting for next year to have that small little bed done, you can keep them in the pots with no problem.
Okay, right, great. Brilliant. Well, listen, that is bound to be very interesting for anyone who might be thinking about starting out roses and coming in and availing of a very nice deal here in Boyles of Killorglin.
Very nice.
So, so listen, Miguel, thank you so much for all your advice here on the roses and for here on the Garden Show. That's it for this week. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. And until next week, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and happy gardening.